What is going on? I'm Zedmot. Now that, of course, is code Zedmot over there in that shop. Now, while you're in there typing my name correctly, that is not Smot or Snot or Smog. There is a special offer in the shop currently. If you have some extra money from buying your green beer, there's a $1.39 deal for 4 powder and 1,000,000 gold. Now that offer is actually better than most of the special offers. It does bug me that special offers is not centered though, like the rest of them. Nitpicking. We are fully Let me know if those sort of things bother you. Also, let me know if you've seen any of these bases when you're clearing your map. This Mount Rushmore-esque island base, of course, is part of that boom pass. Some of you like it, some of you hate it. We won't dwell on that. We will do many things this video, though. It's Friday, so we're going to cover a couple warships, a couple operation attacks, so buckle up. Now, a lot of you have said in Warships you've done 0 things, like your rank has not changed at all. Might as well have some background infos as we show the battle. I don't know what it is about these seasons, but most people have not changed ranks at all. I don't know if it's the extra keys in the chests or the fact that I feel like this season was put out there thinking that it was going to do great things for Warships, and then it kind of did the opposite. I don't feel a lot of people are super duper inspired at the moment. If you are loving these mini seasons, please do let me know. I just am feeling overwhelmed more than anything. But I'm going to show you something here. Look at this. You see this shock mine right there? That is going to do us all sorts of good stuff. Using the shock mine, I promise that was intentional. Getting all of our troops up into that spot by flaring a defense. That defense is now gone. Our bombardiers are in. The bulk of them are where we want them, and we've got a couple down here chucking at this bottom engine room. Was pretty happy with that. Figured I would start with that. Decent time at the 5 engine room level. 5 engine rooms, not really the place to be though. I dirtied this one up, got the doom cannon and the shock blaster and the rockets and the shock launcher at the expense of not going 6. You should all go 6. 6 is better. If you notice in my log here, a 6 engine room player just absolutely walked through my base. Like, just absolutely walked it. It was ridiculous. And they've got seekers. They're just clearing mines, making this look so trivial. Like, these seekers just are refusing to die. It is beyond silly and crushing the base. So this season, I don't think I'm going to be doing any seeker hits. I've had a couple requests from a couple of you. That would be weird if I had one request from you get the basic idea. Anyways, we are going to get our troops going. I was heavy rushing, and then I just realized that I was not doing super duper well because I didn't have the troop damage. So then I went and got the troop damage, and then I realized that I don't have the GBE. So this season, there are lots and lots of mistakes that can be made. I feel like I have made the majority of them. We are probably going to flare that back mortar at some point, just trying to get our troops spread the heck out. Flaring a defense this season has done great things for me in many times, and I am only using my artillery to clear mines, not doing anything super duper fancy. The problem is this doom cannon is going to eat us up if we let it, so we need to get rid of that either sky shield or doom cannon before we do any flaring. And then, and only then, can we get our troops moving towards that back section. So Sky Shield is now almost gonzo. Let's flare that way, and that will allow us to throw a shock on. Oh, didn't even need to throw a shock. Perfect. Of course I screwed that up. And now, once that mortar goes down, we're going to have our troops spread out perfectly on all of the engine rooms. This back one gonna take a couple extra seconds, so we're gonna keep that boom cannon shocked. My shocks are too late in every single instance, but check out that spread, like absolutely perfect. And that is why, my friends, I went and got myself the flares. I was not having a ton of fun without flares this season, but once you start to get flares, you can get a little bit more creative. And not to say, I was actually enjoying slowly but surely dropping my troops, and rocket choppas are also calling my name in a big, big way. Seen a couple fizzles, which is also super, super fun. I am not typically one for defense in Boom Beach, but I really do enjoy, maybe a little bit more than I should, watching people fizzle. So this person is not looking super, super good. They've only got three rocket choppers left. It's going to be a struggle for them to finish, but they should be able to. And by the way, there are some great, great hits using Kavan's second wind to bring back some rifles to protect those rocket choppas. This person, whose name I cannot pronounce because I like how I try and zoom in on that name. Yeah, that's the state of I'm in. So I will not be posting this video next week. I am going on spring break to a tiny little town in Mexico. I assume there's cellular connectivity, but I am definitely not bringing a computer, and all of my videos are connected using a computer. Now, a bunch of you have asked, how do you play Boom Beach on a computer? I don't. That is against the terms of service. Yes, it can be done. No, I will not tell you how to do it. But when I say on a computer, I mean I've got a capture card and recording on the computer. Hopefully that makes sense. Don't want to add any confusion. Anyways, that is 5 engine rooms. That flare onto a defense can do great, great things for you. I don't recommend this tech tree. I'll show you the tech tree just in case. Shock bombs not maxed. Zuka's not touched. Flares at tick 3. I love tick 3 flares. Tick 2 not quite enough, especially if you're heavy Russian. You probably want to have 4. No choice node there. No rifles, even though Kavan would be bringing back some super useful rifles, but those tick 1 rifles clear mines and get shot in the face just as well. No choice nodes, no GBE, no critters. Critters are super, there's so many appealing things. Critters, barrage. Yeah, I'll show you, you know what? That's that tech tree. I'm not getting nothing else except for 6 engine rooms, and then once you get 6, the obvious choice is that building damage, and with all these defenses, should be decent. Now, speaking of those extra keys making for not really any push points or ranking up or anything like that, check out this. So you can see I'm at 18.15, so this account is safe, will start in 16, probably want to push it up to 19.35 so it can start in 17, but more importantly, what I was trying to show is this graphic right here. You can see this season, diamond chests have 33 keys. Next season, season 58, is going to go up to 44 keys in that diamond chest. So it's going to be even bigger disparity between people in gold and diamond, and those push points are likely to disappear even more. Even if these seasons end up being less than popular, I think Boom Beach is going to get some good data as far as chest sizes and lengths of seasons. And you see how I just gently backed away from the chest size comment that I awkwardly made there. Anyways, different tech tree, 6 engine rooms. I'll get back to this in a second, but first we're going to do an operation attack. And first and foremost, a disclaimer on this operation attack. It will be unboosted, it is against Dead End, and it's not going to be one of those Zuka solos with perfect smokes and flares, and yes, I can definitely do those, but instead, we're going to try something a little bit fun and silly. So we have the cryo bomb, which I didn't notice until now, which is great, great news. What I'm going to do is I am going to flare bullet onto this cell right about here. We're going to wait a second or two, letting that flare die a little bit. You'll see why in a second. Need to keep bullet underneath smoke. Also need to keep it so that that flare does expire. We don't want any troops to walk to that flare. We just want bullet to get underneath there, and then that final smoke to come out. That way we can drop all of our troops in silly and ridiculous spots. You'll find out what the heck I'm talking about in a second. You've probably already seen it, those of you who have been around here, but these kind of hits make me very, very happy because we can just absolutely drop all of this stuff back here, dropping the cryo bomb to slow things down even more. And then because bullet is not taunting that back left rocket launcher will throw a shock on it. Now, we are absolutely decimating all of this stuff, and we are picking up extra GBE as we go, because of course we have boosted that GBE gain tribe. Now, I would love to see what sort of numbers you guys can put up. I have gotten my highest so far on an attack has been 436 GBE, and that was using what are those guys called? Using Scorchers, so you definitely can get more than that. I'm not sure if you can hit the 500 mark or not, but I would love to see one of you send me a screenshot with 500 GBE on it. Now, please don't just attack Maze and then go out and farm all of the cells on the left-hand side, or maybe do, that might be entertaining as well. But GBE usage is just absolutely silly right now, especially when you're using laser rangers. And if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it is I believe it's the Fire Spike tribe or something like that that is giving these sorts of numbers. 215 GBE are rookie numbers. We're gonna try to get this up, but also try to keep our troops alive, which is a little bit more important. And on PvP, that is not quite the case. Also, quick side note, this is a 50-person task force, so there are lots and lots and lots of attacks for Dead End. The reason for this task force is it is a Warships-oriented task force, so nobody really cares about operations, but they do want those free diamonds. You should be getting between 25 and 27 diamonds every single day. It is great for your warships. It is also great for the boom pass and all the rest of the things. So we are just straight up clearing this entire right side, setting a path towards the back, and I really probably should be using all of our GBE on one of these rocket launchers, probably. Was a little bit too focused on getting our troops through that entire right side. Now we're just gonna set this thing up for somebody else. Might as well clear all of the mines around the core just to be super chivalrous, for lack of a better word. Forward thinking? I don't know. We've still got 123 GBE, just showing how completely and utterly ridiculous this troop combo is. We have cleared this entire side, we've cleared all the mines by the core, and now we just need to figure out a way to get to those last couple rocket launchers. I don't think we're gonna be able to pull it off. We're gonna get a whole bunch more stuff down, and please, if you have not yet given this a go, give it a try. It is a lot of fun. We have cleared 128 buildings so far, which is a lot of buildings. That whole right-hand side is now clear. Someone can easily come in and take that down. And I gotta say, I really like doing those hits where you smoke bullet into the middle of, what is that, 10 rocket launchers, 2 shock launchers, and then just taunt everything. Now, my placement wasn't perfect. He was a little bit right of center. Maybe I should have flared that cell slightly left of that and wouldn't have had to use that diagonal path, but still, nonetheless, pretty darn fun. Highly recommend it. It's not a standard operation hit. Operation hits have been figured out for a long time, which is part of the reason why I get a whole bunch of enjoyment out of it, because it's not a solved problem. It's just fun and effective at the same times. Speaking of times, part of the reason why I don't know what the heck my highest GBE numbers were is because 3 times mode, yes, times and times, that was my segue right about there, just makes for ridiculous GBE finding, building, farming, whatever the heck you want to call it. Like, our numbers are just flying through the roof, and bases pop way too quick. We're already at 294. Again, if you haven't tried Scorchers with Laser Rangers, have you even lived? Mid to low level players, this is the reason why all of the people on the Boom Beach Discord, all of the people on the Boom Beach Reddit recommend rushing your headquarters. You get more fun. Scorchers kinda suck until you get 2 of them per boat. And we're sitting at 374 GBE because we dropped on the right-hand side with a right-hand side headquarters. These tribes are absolutely silly. 75% gunboat energy gain, laser ranger damage. Now with the flare duration, you can do some great things by like saving a flare on complex. Just know that if you're doing some sort of attack where the flare runs out, which I can't think of any off the top of my head, you might run into some difficulty. It's not like shock duration where you end up shocking bullet for too long for him to throw that taunt out there. Let's throw one more of those cryo bombs and then just see if we can get better numbers. These low scores have not been good enough. Let's see if we can at least get away from that headquarters, see if we can get slightly better. I don't think we're gonna pull off 436, but 427, not too, but I'm sure someone could do the math on what the highest possible is. Clearly, it's not going to be with Scorchers, and there are a finite number of buildings, so on PvP, if you have that answer, I would love to hear that as well. Let's get into Warships. This is my 6-engine room base, and it is a bit wonky. I went and got artillery. That's because I wanted to get shock launchers. Next up on my list, I'm a little bit torn between rocket launchers and rocket choppas. Rocket launchers are going to slow my opponents a couple seconds. Rocket choppas are going to make me do different things with my attacks, so I'm probably going to go rocket choppas. And now this account is struggling. It was at, what is that? We are at 60 higher, which is going to put my parking level at, I'm going to start in rank 17, and with me not playing a heck of a lot on, is that the wrong one? That's the wrong one. Yeah, that's the wrong one. That is what I'm looking for right there. So that's going to put us starting at 17. That's all I really cared about, to be honest. Don't think I'll be playing much on the weekend. Don't think I'll be getting diamond on this account, but maybe rocket choppas will change all that. These seasons starting and finishing and starting and finishing and starting and finishing and starting and finishing, all in short order, giving me bits. We're gonna go something like this, and again, we do have flares on this account, thankfully, but not a whole lot of them, and that doom cannon down there is destined to eat up our troops. These sorts of bases are very scary at times, so we are gonna get going back to there. We're gonna drop you guys here, dropping bombardiers slowly but surely, and then Kavan hopefully will stick around towards the shore, because if he doesn't, we're gonna be in a world of pain. And now we've got a couple bombardiers going back there. We're gonna clear that, and then Kavan's gonna stick around towards the bottom. Nothing up there needs a heck of a lot of attention except for that boom cannon, which is gonna need a shock right about now. Okay. For lack of any better way to do this, I'm just gonna slowly but surely waste all of my gunboat energy on that sky shield, because otherwise I don't have enough. I don't have heavy choppas. Heavy choppas are great for distracting those doom cannons, but without them, you are kind of very much susceptible to getting shot in the face. So we now have a couple troops heading back here, which is great news. We've got a shock on that doom cannon down here, and now we're going to watch our bombardiers get shot in the face. That heavy living through that boom mine was absolutely critical. Now we just need to get some med kits back there, and we have enough GBE to flare onto that engine room right there and then get a shock out at the last possible second. This is going to be touch and go in a big way. We've got flamethrowers and machine guns wanting to shoot us in the face. Also, that sniper tower, but at least we have some reinforcements in behind in case we can't get that shock out in time. That mortar hit the wrong bombardier, and of course now we are about to lose. Sitting at the 6-engine room level without heavy choppas, without rocket launchers, without barrage, without GBE just means that not super fun. There's going to be wins and losses, and I feel like I probably need to get heavy choppas next. We won't belabor that fact, though. I am not going to do another 6 engine room. You know what? Forget it. Let's do one more. Ranks don't matter in these seasons anymore because they take your highest rank. Just a quick note, on your season starting rank, they show your ending rank instead of your highest rank, which has been causing some confusion. We got a 5, though. That is good news. Let's get a flare out. We're gonna go 2 there, 1 way over here, and I would never have brought 3 boats of heavies if I would have planned my attack, but we are live-ish, and I tend to make mistakes when you guys are around. You just get me a little bit flustered, so we are gonna get more bombardiers dropped slowly but surely, and then don't call me Shirley. Let's get... Come on, somebody turn left. Of course the bombardiers are gonna turn left instead of the heavies. We bring all of the heavies and then none of them turn towards the left. Let's throw in artillery instead. Artillery on this account is not maxed. It is tick 3, I believe. Or no, this one is maxed. Sorry, too many accounts to figure out what the heck is going on. Same deal. Let's get you guys back to there. You know what? I'm gonna throw a shock about here just to keep you guys sticking around. Getting back onto that doom cannon. Don't have a shock mine in this case, so we've got to keep some troops back here if we want to speed things up. One thing that I stressed on previous videos was don't waste too much GBE on shocks. Shocks are not all that important this season. More importantly, our second wins, but of course we've got 1 boom cannon and 2 bombardiers, so we definitely need shocks down there. Kavan is dead. This attack is just absolutely dreadful. We've only got a couple of our heavy dudes keeping our troops alive, and they are almost all gonna hit these shock mines and or boom mines, so that boom cannon right there is going to feast on a whole bunch of our troops. Need to get underneath that, whatever the heck that's called, right about there, underneath that sky shield soon. Throwing our shock onto the boom cannon. I told you this attack was not going to be super duper great, and now all we can do well is try to time our flare onto that engine room, and even we screwed that up. So trying to show you the opposite side where as a 5 we got crushed by a 6. As a 6 we're probably going to lose to a 5. 145 against hello Y019. They've got to come all the way back to here. That is looking good for us on the win. I am not going to do imitation game today because that is way too easy and that is way too bugged. Not a big fan of imitation game. I really am hoping for a new update in June, and I really do hope that they put a bunch of resources into the main base, because that boom pass doing great things for the main base. Whether you like it or not, a lot of people do enjoy it. I try not to talk about the boom pass because people get too heated. I fully get it. It needs to be revamped a little bit, but it is quite popular. So now we just need to see if we can pull off the win. Boom cannon getting a shot off. Cannon getting a shot. Oh, it did not. So I think we're gonna win. They've got barrage too. So throwing their GBE late, just like my flare on that last engine room was late, but I think we pulled off an ugly win just by having more engine rooms. Did we? Yes, we did. So not super duper sexy, but hopefully you had a little bit of fun. Hopefully you were somewhat entertained, and if you were, do hit me up in the comments. Let me know which parts you liked, which parts you did not like, where you're struggling, all of the things. I don't have the sculptor queue on this one, so thankfully I do have that 582 powder, which is incredibly high for me. I did take advantage of the cyber trader before she got a little bit weaker. So anyways, that is all for me. Keep that submarine diving. That is the hardest one in the boom pass. Hardest mission. Couldn't think of that word. I shouldn't say hardest. It is the longest mission. We need to keep that going if we want to get it before the end of the season. I've got all sorts of videos on the missions though. Anyways, that is all for me. like, share, subscribe, more importantly, comment. I'm Zedmod. Keep booming those beaches. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in.